Well, we got some pretty interesting news this week about the Thunderbolts, and a rumored casting that could be a major big deal for Marvel Studios. I wanted to talk a couple minutes about the new General Thunderbolt Ross, if I believe this rumor is true, and if I actually think Harrison Ford would take the role. That's right, they're looking at Harrison Ford. Well, there seems to be a lot going on with Thunderbolt Ross, so let's break down what we're going to talk about. First and foremost, the death of William Hurt and how this impacted the franchise, how the character is going to fit in to the Thunderbolts moving forward, and more importantly, the potential for Harrison Ford to play the character. Now, first and foremost, William Hurt's health appeared to be in decline for quite a bit before he passed away. If you were paying attention to The Black Widow, you may have noticed he didn't look quite the same, and it was pretty clear some of the effects to de-age the actor were probably hiding some of these health issues. Now, when an actor in a major franchise dies, it's never really easy to replace him, but it's pretty clear Marvel Studios is not quite done with Thunderbolt Ross. We know the Thunderbolts are coming at us in the next couple of years, and the pieces for that have been coming into place for a while. We also have been hearing rumblings of a much bigger expanded world of gamma-radiated characters, and with the Thunderbolts and Thunderbolt Ross, if you're a fan of Marvel Comics, you know this means that the Red Hulk is likely not too far off in the distant future. And that's what really brings us to the bigger news. Now, this particular report comes from Jeff Snyder. He's a reporter for The Ankler, editor for Below the Line, and a film critic for LA Magazine. He has come out with a couple of really solid scoops in the past, and he is somebody's account that I pay attention to. Now, he's claiming, if it's true, some really big news for the future of the MCU and a particular casting to replace William Hurt, and that would be the legendary Harrison Ford. Now, the first question I have from this is why we didn't find out at D23, and he does address that by saying the studio did not want to overshadow their sister company, Lucasfilm's announcement about Indiana Jones 5. But regardless, if this is true, Harrison Ford joining the MCU as Thunderbolt Ross, or potentially becoming a Red Hulk, would be a massively big deal. Now, this is where I start to chime in with my opinion, but I don't think this is true for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, Harrison Ford is, well, historically rather cantankerous, and the requirements to be part of the MCU, the multi-film deals, and quite honestly his age, I think all play against this possibility. Don't get me wrong, I think Harrison Ford will be a great Thunderbolt Ross. Fans are thinking the Red Hulk is coming in the future. I absolutely don't think Harrison Ford would have anything to do with that. Harrison Ford is a Hollywood megastar, everybody knows who he is, and I just don't see him signing on to the MCU for a long-term contract. I also quite honestly don't see Harrison Ford putting up with the rather tedious process of doing the motion capture that would be required to play the Red Hulk. That is time-consuming studio work, and honestly, this guy is looking towards his retirement, and I can't see him signing up to do this kind of work with Marvel at this point in his career. I suppose anything is possible, and it could totally work out. I would absolutely celebrate that. I hate recasting characters most of the time, but with the death of William Hurt, it needs to happen, and to grab a big name like Harrison Ford and be able to use him in 4 or 5 films or series would be spectacular. The Thunderbolts is not set to be released until July 26, 2024, so we have a lot of time to work out all of these details. Now, obviously, we're going to continue to follow everything Thunderbolts oriented, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you get all the updates. But until we know more, what do you guys think? How would you feel about Harrison Ford taking up the role of Thunderbolt Ross? And could you see Harrison Ford as the Red Hulk? Tell me what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you won't get any updates. Peace.